Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I was going through emails and messages and stuff like that. How's everybody doing this morning? You guys alive, awake, chilling like a villain? What are you guys doing? Welcome to Shaggy's Consulting and Training. What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to stop in real quick. I got about 15, 20 minutes and just say cheers, coffee. And I'm just going to hop on real quick. Nothing big. Just give you guys some updates of what we got going on at Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. There's a lot of stuff happening. We need flatbeds. We need them out around Vidor, Texas, that want to stay in Texas. We need guys that want to run from Texas to North Carolina. We need guys that want to run New Salem, PA, and stay in the Northeast. And we got a lot more stuff coming. We're working on it constantly. We need and we have a lot going on. Oh no, I need coffee. I got coffee. You need some coffee? Come by the office and get some coffee. So, um, welcome to Shaggy's Consulting Training. If you guys like the video, share it. If you don't like it, whatever. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a lot going on, right? And you know, I just wanted to come on this morning and say, long trip. That's crazy. I used to remember long trips. I used to go from I remember I used to drive from Chicago. We'd pick up in Chicago by Wrigley and all that. And we'd drive, I'd always drive all the way over to the other side of Oklahoma before I stopped. That's, go all the way across, hit St. Louis, go across 44, and you get through the turnpike, get over by Big Cabin and crash. And that was a trip. One time, me and my buddy Jim, we drove from right around Cheyenne, Wyoming, all the way to the first rest area before the way station in Oregon. That was crazy. We won't talk about that. Come on, come get some coffee. You can drive to Indiana, grab a cup of coffee, and go back. There's nothing wrong with that. So we are really working hard. We got carriers calling in. We're signing guys up for the dispatching that need help with flatbeds and dry vans. We got carriers coming in. We got James and Don and Justin that are helping me with it. Where I'm doing dispatching too now, and you think about it. I don't really like dispatching for carriers. I really want carriers to do it themselves. But building lanes, posting with direction, learning to add on owner operators when you're caught up with your company trucks and you don't know what to do because this is all you got. You invested everything you got into these 3 trucks and all this stuff. I was sitting in a restaurant last night in my hometown, right? And there's a guy in there and his wife. And we were sitting across from him, and I'm always noisy, especially when they're like, "Hey, you still truck driving?" Shit, my ears perk up like this. I'm like, "Truck driving? What's this conversation?" So you're over here easing in. And the guy said he drives. He's a driver. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm in trucking." And we were just talking. And then the guy at the end of the table says, "Yeah, we just shut down our trucking company. We got 8 trucks." And I'm like, and then immediately he starts talking about, I don't know how these guys start out buying $150,000 trucks off the back. I don't know how they start out getting insurance. I don't know how they start out with all the government and getting everything going. And then the guy talks about how he bought 8 trucks. He got 2 of these reefer trailers. He got 2 end dumps. He's got this trailer. And then he's got all company drivers, and drivers suck and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there going, and now he's sitting there moving to a new project, onto better things. And he's got these trucks he's flipping and trailers. And I'm like, I'm listening to this. And then the next, I get another call of a guy that was at 5 trucks down to 2. Then I get another call, guy with 3 trucks, and they're all flatbeds, and he was playing basketball. Now he's out there running, and man, it was great when we started because shit, you could. And I'm like, well, how are you getting freights? Well, we're doing load boards. We're booking loads. We're using load boards, and that's how we're doing it. That's like, well, we had some relationships, but it was through brokers with Purina. And as soon as the rate drops, it stopped. And I'm like, well, were you posting what direction? Were you building more lanes? Were you diversifying owner operators? Why didn't you flip your equipment before you had to sell it and make them owner operators and charge them a percentage and make more money than you're making now? And they're just looking at me. I'm rattling all this stuff off in a restaurant, like, the squirrels. Blah, blah, blah. Why didn't you do this? You should have done that. You could have did this. I was right there. Check this shit out. I was right there. I've been in Terre Haute all the time. My office is over here by this place. My parents used to own that place. I drive the Scooby-Doo car. It says consulting. It's amazing when we're caught up. And Michael Colodi was talking to me earlier, and he talked about how you can be on a roller coaster and rolling. And next thing, I always talk that same way where you're driving down the road and the truck's rolling like this. And the next thing you know, you're like, and the wheels fall off. And you're like, look, man, what was going on? Where have I been? Oh, shit. The rush is over. The YouTubers are gone. My safety score's messed up. The brokers at Coyote, CH Robinson, TQL, Outland, Suntech, Edge, Echo, Lindsay, Spitzmark, all those guys, they don't care about me no more. And the ones that I did work with that paid me good, that were the mom and pops, they're not on the load boards no more. How do I find them? They're not calling me. The reality starts to set in. Hey, I know it. I've seen the rush. I helped build the TAP program. I'm the founder of it. I built the residual network. I watched insurance companies grow really big off our network. The minute that the insurance company, the volumes turn down or something changes, all they care about is, you want to quit or go work harder? But I'm the motherfucker that helped you get here. Well, we helped you too. Oh, I get you. It works all the way around. I understand. Frank G. Oh, wait, let's get Frank. All chickens, not logs. You know what I mean? And you think about how me and Frank come on all the time. And I would put Frank on here right now, but I have a client at 9 o'clock, so I only came on for just a few minutes. And back to the brick walls. I know people don't want to ask for help, but you should. I know people need to make a change to their plan. I didn't say go change everything you're doing, but why are you building to it? Why do you keep doing the same thing? It's like that wheel, the rows. When do you take control of what you're doing and have a business? I still have a lot of work to do on myself. Learning so many different moving parts, having a compliance company, doing the equipment and insurance, doing the brokerage now, and having the best team with Dan Isaias and William and Justin and these guys in there. Seeing freight move and actually get picked up and delivered in the process of your own company. And then you got the dispatching, because you have to be able to control the trucks to service your thing. Frank G. hauled midgets and strippers. That's interesting. Hey, I just being on a serious note, you know what I mean? Like, they can joke around, but when I hear trucking companies going out of business for no reason, when I see guys that have a dream to do something for themselves, and I see guys that are not taking advantage of all the resources out there, it makes me sad. I mean, it's not my job to really worry about what you guys do, but I just don't understand. I don't understand why people don't care about themselves enough to do better for themselves. What's up, Sparky? I can't see no names over here. It makes me mad. You know what I mean? I see what everybody else is doing. There's people that we talk about like Sparky and Shane Ferris, Screen Miles, and Joe Denny, and all these guys, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about you guys because they're not coming to run your company. They got their own. They're not going to give you your customers either. They may let you work for them. They're not giving you their connections. I didn't say they won't pull over. I didn't say they won't help you because they're real truckers. I didn't say they give you advice. What's up, Charles? Charles is in the house. Lefty. Yeah, so just like Lefty and all his boys. Those guys are the coolest dudes in the world. But they're not going to come and run your company for you. You know, running a business is hard because every year it changes. 2 years in a row, it's great. Next 2 years suck. Next 2 years is great. Next 2 years suck. How do you get a business to pave right through so you can be around for 30 years? I mean, it blows me away how many people come into trucking from it. What's up? Good morning, brother. You know, it always trips me out. People come into this business from the military, from factory jobs, from all these different avenues, right? And they had orientation processes that were like 2 or 3 days. They had safety meetings. They had all this stuff, right? Structure, processes, programs, all these places they work. And immediately they get into trucking and half-ass it. That's awesome, man. Get these post up. If this is software would show names on here, it'd be really cool. Facebook user, what's up? Facebook user, what's up? Doing great. That's awesome. So glad to hear it. Morning, James. What's up, Justin? Frank's in the house. Everybody, what's great? Hey, guys. And I don't come on in the mornings to be gloomy. I just come on to understand why people allow to lease on to other carriers that run you in the ground, why you choose the wrong trucks, why you don't have a safety and compliance company that's not just doing safety and compliance for you, but why aren't they educating on you what you need to do instead of just selling you a service of what, I get it. I mean, I talk to insurance agents all the time. They're like, man, we're losing lots of clients. Well, what are you doing to keep them in business? Are you working on freight? Are you helping them grow their trucks? What are you doing? What's he say? We got it right here. If I was asked to help, if I were asked to help, I'd have the first thing I tell folks is consistency. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Like I am saying it. We preach it. Me and Frank preach it all the time. Get freight you can do over and over and over. Right? Get freight you can do over and over and over. Let's get a troublemaker in here. All right, I'm back. All right, so I didn't really leave, but I was sending out invites. Consistent and dedicated. That's the craziest thing because when I hear that guy in the restaurant tell me I lose 8 trucks, I'm like, how does a guy go and open authority, get low boards, and spend $150,000 plus another $58,000 and think it's a fucking great idea to throw drivers in 8 trucks running low boards? In the Midwest, Terre Haute, Indiana. They're 150-mile radius. If I was to bring on a dispatching truck today, the very first thing I would do before I even got his packet was get his MC number and draw a 150-mile radius of where he lives and blast it out 60 days. Oh, here comes trouble. All right, cool. What's up, Frank?
What's up?
Well, we got I have an appointment at 9, so we have to keep it less than 9.
Yeah, I got to go to the shop today. The shop they were
Yeah.
putting a Caterpillar in a Kenworth.
Of course, it's good.
Yeah. Hey,
Somebody
Sparky and Lefty. you guys feel free to come by. We're going to be putting a Caterpillar in a Kenworth this morning, so feel free to stop by.
Here's a good one. So we were talking about it. If I was to bring on trucks, right? Because I'm just like, I was coming on this morning. I'm sitting in the Mexican restaurant by my office, and a guy was talking about trucking, and I'm sitting there listening to this guy tell me how he bought in the last 2 years. He came in the Go Rush, bought 8 Peterbilts, 8, and then because he's got 2 reefers, 2 end dumps, and I don't know what the other 5 trailers he has. So he's already got a mixture of trailers. So all that tells me is he had no plan. And then he tells me he had no plan. He's using brokers. Insurance is through the roof. Like everything he said was like his safety, like his insurance through the roof because he's hiring the wrong drivers. His safe. If I pulled his MC, I guarantee his safety score is fucked. You know what I mean? Why? I just see all these guys going out of business. Why don't they take advantage of the opportunity?
Well, yesterday, our friend
What's up, William?
Jess came by, and she was in town, and Triplet, what up, brother? And we went to lunch and hung out for just a little bit. She had to go pick up a load, but and we were talking about just exactly what you're talking about, exactly. And she said, "Well, you know what?" She said, "I know I'm different. I know I'm weird." She said, "I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. It drives me crazy. I get bored. I get tired of it. I don't want to do it. So I like just going, here and there and here and there." She does, however, that map behind your head. She does, however, stay in the Midwest. She doesn't venture out to all these crazy places that you see these rookies going to all the time and then wondering why there ain't no freight. She doesn't do that. She goes from one load to the next, to the next, to the next. And, she's based in Atlanta. So, but she, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, uh, Ohio, that's her area. That's where she likes to run. But she
That's
just
my favorite
doesn't
place.
like doing the same things all the time. And I get it, but Frank Jr. and I make our living on dedicated. That's what we've been doing for 24 years. I mean, our guys pick it up and deliver it. Pick it up and deliver it. That's what they do.
The contracts we're bidding, man. The first 40, I don't know how many loads we did that were one load, just one and done's. We made more money on it, right? Even as a new broker.
Well, you
But the
remember
money's not in that. The money's in getting $152 or $300 a day and doing 100 of them.
the first day you and I met in person, we went over the 3 ways to make money,
Yep.
doing freight. And, the first one's dedicated. The margins aren't as big, but it's there all day, every day, all day, every day.
It runs on autopilot.
Bread and butter. And then semi-dedicated, that's a customer that ships freight pretty much in the same lanes all the time. Not always, but pretty much. Sparky does a lot of that. And then the third one is transactional. That's a customer that just gives you freight going all over the place. And then, you got to try to find carriers, to haul those odd loads all the time. Well, the good news is, the transactional freight, that third level of freight is always the most profitable. It's always the most always.
Yeah.
That's the good news. The bad news is it takes 3 or 4 times longer to cover it. So you spend all these man hours covering it. You talked about this the day before yesterday. You and I were talking, and you were talking about it. You spend 3 or 4 or 5 hours, monkeying around with some load. You could have covered 10 of your dedicated loads in that.
Yeah, the greatest part is once you get that carrier on the volume for a customer, they stay on it.
Yeah. Today's Thursday. Frank will get all his loads today for next week, and then throughout the week, they'll call up and layer one here, one there, one here, one there. That'll pop up. Customer will call in an order or something. But today he's going to get 95% of all his loads for next week, and by tonight, by the time they close up the shop tonight, they'll be done. Everything will be dispatched. you know, and then they spend the week tracking, finding out where the loads are, and checking wash tags. That's what we do. That's what we spend all our time doing.
That guy does the same kind of freight. There's the produce man himself, Mr. Stringer.
Mr. Stringer, what up?
William says, dedicated work. So, you know, somebody made a comment back up here on the top. If I was a dispatching service, I was making the comment because we are now. We're doing it for like, I don't know, Con's got like 4 or 5. We have 10. I don't remember how many we got coming in. It's a bunch since we started back. And everybody asked what I would do to keep trucks busy. Well, I had a guy last night call me, and he has 3 flatbeds, and they're all company trucks. Well, first, I would understand the cost of the trucks, how much it's going to cost to operate, because if I'm just throwing loads at you for a percentage, it doesn't do no good. So,
Ryan, what up?
And then number 2, I would go and start building a network like we talk about all the time, right?
Yeah. I don't even know how to log on to that. And now, admittedly, you know, I'm not in here all day every day. You know, Frank, that's Frank's thing, and Frank and his people. But I don't even know how to log into it. I mean, we just don't. You know, we just don't use it. And here's the deal. And I mean, this is as plain as I can possibly be. If you're living on the low board, you're starving. They've got you figured out, okay? They know you'll haul freight for $1.50. If you have regular customers and especially dedicated customers, you're doing fine. Charles knows this. All those guys that he hangs out with over there in East Tennessee, you know, and Sparky. If you look up, you know, consistent carrier you look up consistent carrier in the dictionary, there's a picture of Sparky there. He built his company, you know, doing consistent freight. So when he gets on here and says, well, you know, I say consistency, he lives it, he does it. But if you're out there playing the low boards and you're out there, you know, monkeying around with dad all day, every day, you're not doing good.
Hey, now we have all kinds of damn trouble in here. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah, deep
I
shit
follow
now.
Sparky, watch Sparky, see Sparky, everything. I never got to see Sparky on my show. But I mentioned him, talked to him, seen him. What's up, Sparky?
How you doing, brother? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, put your camera down a little.
Let's see.
Are you hiding your face? There he is. What's up? Yeah,
What's
you're
happening,
good.
man?
Well, it's nice to meet you, brother. I know everything
You
about
too.
it. Followed
You
you.
know,
I
the
followed you.
problem,
Dude, I
the
followed you
pro,
before I even started doing training, just so you know. Like, because then all
right.
the stuff coming. Go ahead.
You know, the problem in trucking is just like you tried to do, and just like Frank's tried to do, as help people. It's much needed, and a lot of guys won't listen. They think they know it all. They buy trucks, whatever, and ain't got a clue because trucking changes, and you both gonna agree with what I say. Trucking changes year to year. In
Every year.
the last 3 years is the biggest change I've ever seen since I've been trucking. Honest to God, it is. It's it's
18 years.
marginal differences. Yeah.
And it's
I
not
was on.
well, Spark, hold on. Tell them it's not technology either.
No,
Everybody says it's technology. It's
no,
not. It's a whole
no.
different level.
It's a whole different animal right now. I was on Road Dog Radio, I guess it was Monday night, and they had an analyst on there. And I listened to him what he was telling people. Now he's telling people these numbers, and I said, "You're wrong." And everybody got quiet, and I was like the monkey in the room. And I said, "You're giving them LTL freight numbers, dude." And I said, "There's other sectors of this industry. One, if you're going to be a reefer hauler, you what the reefers is doing, where they're going, where the money is, and stuff like that. If you're going to be a flatbedder, you got to figure it out. If you're going to pull dry box, you got to figure it. You got to be a student and learn this industry if you're going to be successful. I don't care, even me, I still have to learn week to week. Right now, every quarter things is changing. It's so much different than what it was, say, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. It's an ever changing, evolving industry, and if you don't stay up on it, you get comfortable in doing what you're doing, you'll find yourself way behind really quick.
Yeah, it's the roller coaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or that road where you're driving.
That's exactly what we were talking about the other day, Sparky. These guys get up in the morning and they just slide right into that rut that they've been in for a couple years. just slide right in there, and it's easy, and they know what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. They just
Yeah.
slide right there, and they just stay there. They just stay in this rut. If you're doing the same thing you were doing 2 years ago, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah. It
Well,
is.
the problem is you and Sparky will tell you because he just mentioned Evan. It's two mindsets. One, and no one wants to do the right mindset. We all want the spot market. We go here, then we're over in Denver, then we're over here. We're chasing potatoes, we're chasing onions, we're chasing asparagus,
Okay.
we're chasing tomatoes, we're chasing Fresh Express, we're running over to Dole. And
Yep.
that's one world, right? Where we're doing Girl Scout cookies, hot sauce at this time. We're over here hauling seed in the winter, whatever goes best. And then those markets can be dictated by fire, water, rain, flooded. I mean, these people, they're chasing prey. I remember whenever you get all these trucks over in Salinas, and next thing you know, it would rain for a week. Where everybody just lost their freight because it
Yeah.
can't come out of the field because it goes to the washer to the truck. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
and then you look at it, and then you look at it in the long run, then you got the hat on, boar's head. Oh, so you try to tell me there's two kinds of reefer freight where you can drop trailers, build lanes, and work, or you can freight chase and be the guy that's always waiting for his trailer, right?
Right.
Live load. Or sitting in the dock and the cow flips you off and says, I'm your load. I got to go get killed first, motherfucker. It'll be 8 hours. You know what I mean? So,
And
and there's dedicated. So, but the problem is,
right.
no one wants to ask for the work ahead of time. We don't want to post. We don't want to search. And I teach it like I can go in there and go to a load board, whether you use it or not, and I can post my truck for 60 days between two major cities and have work that I don't need come in at rates that aren't on the load board, and they won't even ask me my MC number, but I could go and search all day long and get treated like shit.
Look here. Here's something else I do too, and I ain't met 4 or 5 owners that does this. If
Oh,
they
I'll
send
show
me
you.
a, let's say I'm on the spot market, and I've done this many a times, and I can prove it. I'm not just blowing
No,
smoke.
no, we got
They
you.
send you a rate con, and you don't agree with their terms. Read them terms. Don't just sign it and send it.
Right.
I mark out what I don't
So,
agree with, and I write in what I want them to agree with. Because here's the deal: 9 times out of 10, they don't read it when you send it back. They just accept it.
I'll show you right now. Oh, we got
You know
people.
what I'm talking
I got
about.
an example for you right here. Check this out. Here's what happens right here. I teach this in my class. I save these Raycons just for your comment on my trailer.
Yep.
Right here. Let me pull it up.
While he's looking, Sparky, tell him what you
Hey,
told me about going to your buddy's brokerage up there, and the girl's sitting
yeah.
in there, and the carrier's coming in, calling in, and quoting rates. Tell him what you told me.
God's honest truth. I went to Texas. It's a pretty big size brokerage. I know the guy that owns its son, and they invited me down for a day. This is back 3 years ago. And I went in there and I sat down, and these guys is good to me. I'm talking $5 a mile freight any day of the week, $5 a mile freight back then. And then I got my own lane, started doing my own thing, and I've tried to get away from brokers, and there's reasons why. And if you've been in this industry long enough, you understand why I done it. But good friend, he said, "Come in here." He said, "I want to show you, and I want you to be witness to this." So the phone rings. I'm calling on such and such lane, whatever. Is that load still available? Yes, it's still available. Well, what do you got on it? Well, what do you have to haul it? And the guy prices it for 3,500. They've got 5,500 in it. Whose fault really is that at that point?
It's the drivers. They don't
It's
understand
the
their cost. They don't know if they're leaving it on the table. The same way Adam Stringer was just in here. He's a produce guy, broker, and he says he has lanes that are like 445 and $5,000, like that all the time. And these guys are calling in because he has regulars.
yeah,
When he needs a new one, he puts it on the board or wherever he can to find it. And these guys, it's like he's asking them
yeah,
what they want to do it for, and it's like they're offering shit. It's like, and he can't believe it. He's like, "Don't you sure you don't want more? Really?
yeah,
Okay."
yeah. And
It's the same
it
way with
blew
our
my
brokerage.
mind.
Well, we just
It blew
started moving
my
loads, and my one operations guy, Dan, It was like, I want relationships with a carrot, give them as much. But I'm like, at one point, you're still in business as a broker. So, I mean, is it our fault if we ask you how much you do it for and we have 1,200 in it and your dumbass does it for 8?
Nope, it's not. And I've said
It's
this
not my
time and
fault.
time again, you know. And the worst thing, I mean, I could sit here and go on and on all day about mistakes I've seen truck owners, dispatchers make throughout the years. I mean, it took me a long time. You know, I helped build a 130 truck fleet with my ex father-in-law and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah,
and I got to understand that was really an education too. I've been pretty lucky in trucking for years, had a few down times, but
we all have.
throughout the year or 35 years I've been pretty
How do you,
good at what I do. But I got an education when we had that many trucks, a real education, and learned how things really worked and met the right people that really helped me and it educated me even more. And I still learn. I'm still not saying I know it all, but I can say this. I know how to make it in trucking. I know how to make money in trucking. I ain't gonna tell you I can make you a millionaire in trucking, but I can make you a living in trucking.
no, because you get paid the pictures like I did in those stupid webinars, Sparky. And the one mistake I did was showing a guy a $20,000 paycheck because they don't understand how long it took us to get there. This is my
Right,
18th year. It didn't happen
right.
first. I had 25 trucks in my first 15 months. And the minute the CH Robinson says they won't use you no more, you got to change stuff. You know what I mean? It's
Yep,
like, that doesn't work.
yep.
Here's a Raycon. Here's what people do wrong. So you talk on the phone, and most people don't know more than this: 5 pies. One's to pick up, one's to deliver. How much is what's the weight? And then they always ask what you do it for, and you set
Right,
yourself up. And then you get then you book the load. They send you a Raycon. Here's why we get in trouble, because we're always in a hurry. Dispatchers. If a dispatcher don't get the Raycon, get it to Sparky, he don't get paid, and they know that. And in these TMS systems, they have it set up. So all the guy cares about is my name on there. There's the load. There's the weight. It got the appointment time's right. Oh, I got to get that fixed. And then there's the signature, right?
yep.
And they do that because we never read the second part.
Right,
We don't read none of this stuff that says if you don't do this in 24 hours, if you don't do this, a reefers must be cooled, if you don't turn in paperwork. And even on this one right here, I love this one because it says rate reduction. It doesn't say how much
right,
anywhere.
right.
Both. And then here's the one that's going to screw up one carrier. If driver doesn't send in originals with everything in it to their office and you have a factoring company, you're not getting paid until that gets overnighted to your factoring company.
Yeah,
This is just, I got some better ones, but this is one I
yeah,
use to show because
yeah,
it's a simple one and everybody stops right there on the signature.
yep.
They don't care
And
about that.
I've seen that mistake made so much throughout the history. It's crazy. 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes and read what you're signing.
I
Would
agree.
you go buy? I always tell them, would you go buy a house or a car and not read the fine print? This is no different.
If you
Frankly,
see the word, if you see the word deduction, which I see
Yeah,
all,
you better read it.
you better read it. And if you see the
Yeah,
word offset anywhere on it, offset.
this is
That
the
means
good
they're
one.
going
yeah,
to keep your money.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yep,
And if one of these big box brokers like TQL, if they offset your money and keep $200 or $300 of your money, good luck ever getting it. Ever.
yeah.
You'll never get it.
Nope.
We could talk about short pays, aging, factoring companies, how they hold your money. One time, this is no shit. I worked with TBS when I first started. One day I have a very good memory. So I'm talking to my factory rep, right? So my lady Vicky's got this big ass book, right? With all these rate cons. It says truck orders not used, detention times, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Because it's either we got it on the first rate con and submitted it the right way, or we had to bill it after. So they waited 30 days to get the extra part coming in. So one day I'm on the phone, right? This is my second year in business, third year. I'm in the middle of the second year. And I'm talking to this lady. She's like, well, do you want to go through your reserve and get some money for this short pay? And I'm like, I'm not recourse. How the fuck do I have a reserve? I don't have a reserve. I'm just straight 2.5% at that time. There
yeah,
should be no reserve. No, no, no. We have 10,000 some odd dollars in this account over here. And I'm like, me and my wife are looking at each other like, what are you talking about? I got this book over here that's waiting for this money, and I haven't seen it because you guys said you haven't collected it, and you don't update us. And this is my driver's money. They ask me for it all the time.
Yeah.
And it was sitting right there in that back account and making that factoring company shit tons of money off interest.
Oh
There was over
yeah.
$10,000 in there.
Yeah. Accounts receivable is one of the most important jobs in a trucking company, and people don't get it.
Aging, accounts
Yeah.
receivable. Well,
Yeah.
especially on the brokerage side, Frank, right?
Yeah. It's man, trucking. They. I don't know. I've tried to explain to so many people. I've got buddies that sold their trucks for 9 nothing, here lately, and it hurts my heart to see people with a dream and a passion. And I know they got a passion because I know them. Just give up on their dream.
Yeah, I see it every day. I seen 3 yesterday. Like I was starting
Yeah.
up the story. I'm sitting in a Mexican restaurant. A guy comes across that he's selling 8 Peterbilt. And then they're talking about how the government this and everything was so hard. And they used load boards, Perina and all. I'm like, then I turned around and the wife was sitting next to him. I'm like, why didn't you do this? You should have done that. You could have did this. Flip the trucks to that.
Yeah.
You don't get rid of the trailers. Keep your business going. Why didn't you do this? You had 8 trucks. Did you ask for the business one time? How did you not have a plan? The wife's over there looking at her husband going, Melissa's like, oh shit, we're not getting dinner done. But he was already done, Frank. He's done.
Yeah.
There was no, I didn't even need to waste my prep. And that's where we come back to my business now. Like I'm not doing all the education no more. I got the compliance company, the brokerage, the dispatching and trucking. And I'm back to where, why am I going to keep fighting people to do it when I can build the lanes, I can get the customers, and I can pre-plan them back to the customers and do it all like I did before? Why do we keep trying to shove it down their throat, Sparky and Frank, when they don't fucking want to listen in the first place? I mean, it's not like my information
I've never been in that business.
Me and Frank's talked about it. It's like talking to a wall, it seems like, with a lot of people anymore. Honestly, we've talked about it, ain't we, Frank?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
You
think
try.
it made no sense though. Why you'd give it up? Why you'd let it
Yeah.
go? Why don't you change?
Yeah. I don't know. And
Some
what
people,
kills
honest to God,
me.
though, some people would rather quit than do it different. You know what I mean?
All
Yeah.
right.
I don't know if it's a matter of pride or what the deal is, but and Sparky, I've seen the same thing you have lately. I've seen guys been
Yeah.
doing this for 30 years. Park the truck, quit, sell it.
Here's my opinion on a lot of that right there. Load board's easy freight, easy money. A lot of these guys own trucks 20 years, don't even have their own authority.
Yeah.
They've always done things and had things done for them. They, I hate to say people's lazy because truckers generally ain't lazy people, but in order to make it today, you've got to be your bookkeeper. You got to be your own attorney. You got to be everything you can be. That's just like me right now. I'm driving truck. I don't have to drive truck. And I'm not bragging. Don't get me wrong. By no means, I'm a humble man. I don't care a bit to sit in this Peterbilt or a Freightliner. I've got all kinds of trucks. I don't care to get in either one of them and drive. And that's what it takes to make it. You've got to now hustle like you're a teenager again.
But they
You've
don't have
got
a
to do
business
what it
plan.
takes to make it.
No, they're not hustling. There's no drive. They're not like
No.
you sit there and we see you bring a guy in. Like we'll talk about low boards again, right? Because I'm not searching. But most people
Yeah.
I've found out with the real gigs, they come looking for you. But if they can't find you,
Yeah.
how can they give it to you?
Right.
So you teach people how to do it 30 to 60 days, refresh all the time, put your information out there, build your email chain and all that. But we don't want
Yeah.
to.
I just give up on it, guys. I do my thing. Sparky does his thing. We
Yeah.
talk on the phone once or twice a week.
I'm
We're
hanging in
friends.
there.
We do our thing. We talk, but we speak the same exact language. When we talk,
Yeah.
it's like we've been talking since we were 10 years old. So, but these guys get in there and they get pigheaded on it. Walked in on Ricky interviewing a guy one day, and the guy's standing there telling Ricky all of the things he won't do. I
Yeah.
ain't going that East Coast. I don't give a shit. I'll quit. You try to send me over there. And here's another one he came up with. I don't drive at night. Now, when it gets
Yeah.
dark, I'm a parking that truck. I
Oh, I've
ain't
heard
right.
that.
And I went over there and I told Ricky, I said, "What you doing, Ricky?" He said, "I'm interviewing this guy." I said, "No, you're not. He's interviewing you."
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and another thing, you know,
Dude,
people get
you have a lot of trucking companies like that, Sparky, where the drivers, that's one of the biggest problems.
contradicted. Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say that. You don't
Yep.
do that. I teach them all the time.
No.
You run the fucking trucking company. It's your
Right.
car. You're the boss.
Yep. I lost a good friend. He actually owned trucks back when he was younger, and he come drive for me about 5 years ago. Good guy, knows a lot about trucking, but his style of trucking don't work now. That old style of trucking is over with. I mean, it's done. And he went telling me one day what I need to change in my company, and I said, I listened humbly. Yeah, okay. And he kept on and said, we need to do this. I said, we need to do this. I said, let me explain something to you. What I do works. It pays the bills. It puts money in the bank. My kids through college, houses, cars, trucks, the bank notes is paid. So I'm gonna keep doing what I know what works, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So you know, if you want to go buy you another truck, try it again, have at it. Well, he went and bought him one. 2 months later, 4 months later, he calls me up. You want to buy a truck? I said, I told you, dude, that don't work no more. And they won't listen. That's just the mentality. You know, and I hate to say this, but people get caught in doing the same thing over and over the easy way, just like my ex company, you know, I worked for. I'm not gonna mention no names, but low board. I was a sales agent, direct freight. Low board, easy money. He said, why do you want to waste time and money going and getting all this? I said, listen, y'all just keep doing your low board. I'm gonna keep this freight. I put my trucks on that freight. You know, they're not in business. They're not in business today.
Right, but
They're out of business.
I'm in Terrell, right? So you look at
Yep.
this guy, Morris Trucking, that's here. He's been here forever. You see him on the road.
Yep.
They got 40 trucks, family owned, and 80 trailers, and they service 4 to 5 customers right here in Terrell.
Yeah.
And when I went to him the other day, I was joking with him. So, what do you think about the economy and everything going on? Oh, is there something going on? That's what the owner said. I
Yeah.
didn't see Mike Morris. He said, I don't see anything going on. We're moving freight every day.
Yeah. You know,
You're not trying to fuck with him. You know what I mean? On a different level,
just
he don't have that level because he's not out there.
just
He's running his company.
just like on Road Dog the other night, they kept telling how bad the economy, the recession is, trucking recession. I said, I've not seen no trucking recession. I said,
haven't either.
one.
I haven't
I
either.
said, here's the deal. First of all, to be a recession, the stock market crashes. It has not. New truck prices have went down a little bit, but not enough to call it a trucking recession.
No.
Another thing to think about. You take the number of loads being moved today, and let's go pre-COVID. Freight ain't really down like they're letting on.
I don't know. We got bids like we're sitting. So check this out. And this isn't spectacular, but we got like right now this morning. I'm gonna go in and we got some flatbed loads out of Texas, right? And we got some stuff in PA, and we got the
Yeah.
stuff in North Carolina. And then we got these 30-foot things we're bidding. They're 88 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles. Every quote that came across, when we look on the load boards, it's $1.80 to $2.20, $2.50 a
Yeah.
mile. These
Yeah.
If you,
customers
I
are
said it.
coming
I
to
said it
us.
15 minutes ago. If you're
Yeah,
living on the low boards, you're not going to be around.
yeah, and the
No.
customers that are coming to us are we're a new broker. I haven't not even got my credit yet. I'm just ready to flip, right? On the credit score. And
Yeah.
we're still seeing rates over 3.
Yeah. Well, look
And
here.
it's volume.
Frank
Volume.
can tell you what I'm saying is fact. Contract freight is not down,
Yeah.
nor has it dropped any. Certain companies has picked apart because of getting the knowledge of what certain brokers has done. Some of the small shippers have lowered their direct freight, but 90% of direct freight is paying the same today as it was last year, the year before, and the year before that.
All it is the volume. The volume is
Yeah.
slower.
If
So
you
there
think
were so many trucks come. The regulars are still doing it. The free for all's gone. That's the problem.
if you think the economy's down and trucking's down, try to get a parking place in a truck stop after 4 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. Let me explain something.
What?
We're the only industry, and Frank knows where I'm going with this.
What are you talking about?
Why is it Why is it? Listen, okay, let's take warehousing. If they got too many employees, do they drop the price of each employee? Absolutely not.
No.
Okay, let's go to the store right now and let's look at the price of stuff in that store. Let's go buy these wheels on this truck. Let's go buy these air filters. Let's go buy this chrome on this dash. Has it dropped? No.
It didn't drop in 2008. It didn't drop in 2001. It didn't drop in 14 or 15. It didn't drop in 17.
And neither has the price of direct freight. And then everybody hollers, well, I don't know how to get direct freight. I only got 1, 2, or 3. Well, if you can't go and get your own direct freight, find you a small trucking company that's got 100 trucks that's willing to pay you good and work for them, because they're willing. I know several companies right now that pays over $3 a mile to drop and hook.
But Sparky, the minute that you go for one truck, you're not one truck authority no more. You become an investor. And
Right,
that's so you should already have a business plan. And not even
right.
just for one trucking company. Everybody thinks the broker's here just to broker freight, but a broker is leveraged for a small carrier to make himself bigger. But the problem
Yeah,
is us three can't work together unless we're on Facebook.
yeah.
Getting people to work outside of Facebook with three trucking companies to work together is almost impossible. More
Hey,
than two
dude,
control that freight.
I can stay here and hang out with you boys all day, but
Yeah, I
that
gotta.
ain't gonna get that Caterpillar and that Kenworth. Y'all be good. Sparky, come
Yeah, I
get it.
got work to do too. But yeah,
Call me in a little bit.
I agree
All
with you.
right.
We'll leave it. Come on anytime, Sparky. I'm on
Yeah,
here.
man.
Just pop in the chat and say, send me the link. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah,
like coming
man.
and shooting the shit with people and getting them motivated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But man, there's still money to be made in trucking, bro. There's still money out here.
There's a ton of
It's
it. I
just
see it every day. I just can't grab it.
it,
When you're hungry and you're doing it diversity minded, that you can
yep,
grab as much as you want. The problem
yep,
today is not that we can't grab the money, Sparky. It's the money.
yep,
It's the problem is when you look over your shoulder, right now, just like that other
yeah,
company you work for.
yep,
How many people really want it? And then how do you build a team to do it? Like Brian Tire Killer said, he's great at
right.
driving a truck with his authority, but if you don't have the team to help him go in that direction,
You're wasting your time.
you might as well go lease on, right?
Yep, you're wasting your time.
You are.
It's a fact, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, good talking to you, brother.
Yeah. I love you, man. I think you're
Yep,
awesome.
you
So,
too, brother.
yeah.
Talk to you
Peace.
later, man.
Yep.
If I can figure out how to get out of here.
Hey, guys. Hope you guys liked the information this morning, man. I love having Sparky and Frank and all these guys come on. Hope we gave you some insights. And if you're in any of those groups or any of those problems, give us a call. We'll help you. Shaggy's Consulting Group. We have the compliance, the brokerage, the dispatching. We need flatbeds. We need hot shot flatbeds with tilt bed trailers. We need in dumps in PA. And we need lots of flatbeds. We got flatbeds. Give us a call. We need flatbeds, flatbeds, flatbeds. And guys, I won't be on tomorrow. I'll be back. I'll be back on Monday. I don't blame you for leasing on, Brian. I'll be back on Monday for coffee. Make sure you guys check out Frank on Tuesday night. Make sure you check out E-Carrier Check tomorrow, Friday at 11. Great show. Him and Nate put on good stuff. And keep educating yourself and don't give up on your business. Let us help you build it if you're in trouble. Call us. I'll help you. All right? Guys, be good. Peace out. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.